arena. And where they are. Of the field arranged in alphabetical order, just to make it easier for you on the far end. Tim and down there. House in the middle. Long figure to had to tell me. So we will give them their briefing on what is going to be a very challenging course for them. And a massive thanks to everyone who has helped to put this on today. Alex Field in the field performing a little yoga, limbering up. He knows the toll that this very, very physical head-to-head will take. It's a very long distance, 110 metres, I believe, from one end to the other. Hi, Tom. Great, mate. How are you doing? How's your day going? A box of fluffies, everything you dreamed of and more? How was your farmlet? There's fences all around it. Great, that's the main thing. Keep your animals in. That's important. Right, so we'll grab all of our contestants together. While they're having their briefing, I will tell you what it is they're going to do. I tell you what, look at those clouds up there in those mountains. What a beautiful part of the country we are in. And it's been just, I reckon, a pretty spectacular backdrop today. I've loved it. Wanted to get out my watercolours, paint the hills. To be fair, they did that themselves with the water that was falling on them. All right. Oh, there we go. So here is the scenario for the FMG Young Farmer of the Year Grand Final for 2022 Agri-Sports event. Again, another very fitting one. The contestants are members of their local volunteer fire brigade. After a day on the farm cleaning up after a storm, they are called out to a small fire. If they spend a long time on the farm cleaning up, they will be called out to a big fire. So they need to get done quickly. As you can see, there's all kinds of things that we have put in place to mimic the sense that a storm has come through. They have some logs. They need to take that chainsaw out. They need to ring and split those pine logs. Then they have the diggers. Pretty sure this is the order it's going in, according to my laminated sheet. Diggers, they need to unload that digger from the trailer. Use the digger to manipulate two tires onto a cone. Reload the digger onto the trailer, ramps up, strop down, irripods, set up and connect some Hanson irripods, connect into the water line. There is a puzzle. They need to collect some 20-litre containers with fragments of the FMG logo on them and arrange them to complete the logo. Then, it's taking it out of them. They need something to eat. There's a fish to fillet, I believe. It's a carwai. Those fillets, I'm sure, will be available for anyone who isn't particularly interested in being alive after the end of the day. Look, no, we have got some beautiful fresh carwai to fillet. The contestants, yes? The contestants are then volunteer firefighters. Have been called out to a pump house fire. They will need to put on the appropriate PPE and use the fire brigade equipment and follow personnel instructions to safely extinguish the flames. Once the fire is extinguished, contestants must return to their ag bikes at the beginning of the 110 metres from where the fire is. They must locate the keys to the bike, ride back down to the end of the lane, park next to their extinguished fire, sound their horn to indicate they have finished. A race. There are points for the skill that they show in all of the tasks. You will see them making decisions about how many points they think they can get in each of these and how many points they want to risk not getting in order to get a point for placing. Expect to see them keeping very close. FMG and all of our family of sponsors, without whom this would not be the event that it is. You can see their banners arrayed along the hillside. ETS Logistics, of course. They pick up our containers all around the country in obscure fields and small provincial towns and take them to other obscure fields so we can have all turn up to the location we want. We really appreciate their reliable outdoor power equipment. I tell you what, if you haven't tried their battery equipment, I went out and bought some the other day. Great, fantastic. One of the little battery chainsaws. Magnificent. Tell you what, if you've got things to cut down and you need to have them cut down silently, not all of the views that I'm saying are expressed by, but I tell you what, they are very quiet chainsaws if you need to do a little bit of judicial trimming. Both Lincoln and Massey universities, very few competitors in the competition haven't come through either of those. Gust. New Holland had their excellent tractors down there this morning. Honda got their stand over there. I've got one of their generators at home. Just plug in should the power go off. And it always goes off when I'm never at home. It's simple. WorkSafe have been with us for a while. Environmental Protection Authority are here as well. We appreciate that. Down. And kitting our contestants out today. They're in bushbuck equipment. They had some giveaways earlier on as well, I think, so a massive thanks to them. Okay, so I'm totally going to accept responsibility for saying that the rain had cleared and the rain is uncleared. It won't matter. 7 young men this year, all men. We had a couple of close calls in the regionals, nearly got a few more women around this time. We'll not be thinking about the rain. No, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. I've got my little thing, I can put it up. I'm going to put it up. Yeah.
What end are they finishing?
I just ate some pineapple.
Oh, yeah. You're all go then.
Full of pineapple.
Dinner after speeches today?
Probably not, because it finishes late and I'm just super conscious of my voice. And my propensity to overindulge.
And now the sponsor's happy. If you said happy now, you've got that umbrella up.
Couldn't think of who there. Ah, there we go. Tell you what, FMG protecting us in many ways. I've just put up the excellent umbrella. This umbrella is blowing out twice today and I've managed to turn it around and it's blowing back in again. Quality umbrella. Hey, look, we're just a couple of minutes away from getting underway. Do feel free to go and hunker down in one of the marquees if you need to. I have a real feeling that my water-resistant pants are not going to resist water for too much longer. Should have paid more and gone for waterproof, but I'm an idiot. I'm going to hide behind my umbrella. Just a passing shower. But I tell you what, quality of lamentation up here in the north. Greatest briefing notes I've ever received in the quality of their lamentation. Here we are. We're winning. We're winning. It's just a bit of drizzle. And it could be, you know, it could be a lot worse. And I tell you what, when you're out working after a storm, you can't wait for the rain to abate. And that is part of the challenge. In many ways, you could say it's perfectly themed, Nigel. It's a beautiful day for a grand final. Would you like to share my umbrella? So for those of you who have joined us on the live stream, you may not quite be able to see the quality and the quantity of the rain. It's excellent rain. It's refreshing. It's warm. I can almost hear the grass growing. It is 110 metres this course, so it has taken a little while. We make sure that all of our contestants are very, very well briefed so they know exactly what it is they got to do. I'm going to say there aren't a lot of things to do, but there are a lot of things to do, particularly when they're looking down that line to see where their fellow competitors are. And they're starting to think to themselves, has that person got ahead of me because they've completed everything a little quicker than I have? Or did they give up a couple of points, leave a little bit of things undone in order to pick up points with speed? It's all a game of strategy in the Agri-Sports event. I don't know about you, but I'm having a bloody great day. This has been an absolutely top-notch grand final. It's lucky it's not cold. And I'll tell you what, I did speak to some people from Hawke's Bay before, and they said, oh, you should come to Hawke's Bay. It never rains there. Well, I'll tell you what, we did, and boy, did it rain. And just like that, did someone send out a dove? Has it come back with a branch, an olive branch in its teeth? Where's Noah? The rain is abated. But I'll tell you what, I'm really obsessed with misty hills at the moment, and those are beauties. I don't know if if anyone's here wants to take a shot and put it up on the Instagram or the Facebook page. That is a beautiful set of hills up here. And what is this? Western Whangarei? Whangarei Heights? Where are we? I don't even know. Barge Park. Barge Showgrounds. I'll tell you what, they have a crackingly good AMP show. I do a lot of AMP shows around the country. This is one of my favourite showgrounds. I love this showground. Different levels, beautiful planting, great people. There we go. Rain's gone. Hasn't put out the fires. Both the literal fires at the end of the field and the metaphorical fires in the belly and the spirits of our competitors and their supporters. I tell you what, some of these groups are starting to resemble mobs of cattle, just moving closer to each other with their backs to the wind. So the contestants will just be making sure they know exactly what is required of them. We have had a very detailed briefing with our red flag judges. Penalty for the red flags. They need to peel a kumara every time they have a red flag infringement. If they run out of kumara, they move on to star jumps. So here they come. Shambling back down the field. I'll take my... Is that your personal phone?
Yes, sorry, I stole that.
Yeah, I know. I just think it wasn't noticed.
I'll hold this while I change.
I'll tell you what you could do.
Yes, what can I do?
What do I not need? Oh, you just hold that on. So our contestants being reminded there are points for finishing. Placing is important. So too the quality of their work. How well do they complete each of the tasks? So tell you what, here's the thing to watch out for. That's a hooter. Surprise hooter. It is Northland after all. I'm backing into the wind. First thing they need to do is take those chainsaws.
Well, the first thing they do is put their PPE on. Then they're going to take those chainsaws, cut them into rings and split them. Here's the thing to watch out for, folks. How audacious are they with the width of those rings? Will a couple of extra judicious cuts through those logs mean that it's faster and easier to split?
We've all been a bit lazy and thought, oh, we'll just cut fewer rings, longer pieces, but
will they get out of down the far end from the clubhouse, Alex Field? Easily wasn't a race this morning though, and the first of the get that Kumara, the first Alex Field. Just remind people that, hey, that could cost greatly.
You won't mind. One of the excellent. Who's on the pause? Chris is on. Tim down.
Johnny Brown.
Rings are going into this. Mark Wallace from Takakino. He has taken consider a conservative approach to that log. Nice thin rings. Tim Danjan having a little bit of trouble getting that saw going. Here comes a secondary saw. We have tested all the saws. They've all been fired up, but sometimes with this weather, it can just be a little bit difficult to get them going. Young Tom down the far end, cutting through that log like it's just made out of butter, the young block manager from Upper Waitaki Club in Oldingie. And he's making lots of cuts as well. He's got plenty of time. He's almost comfortably ahead on that log. Although by the look of it, Mark has flipped his over. Alex Field now back onto the saw, looking still to get his saw going. Chris Paul next to him. First of those rings coming off. He's on the second side. What a beautiful sound it is, those saws cutting effortlessly through the logs. And a massive thanks to Still and all of their service team. They make sure the saws are serviced before every one of our regional. And of course the grand final. They gave us a saw earlier in the day to give away. We'll be doing that tonight, I think. Oh, red flag has gone up for David Reesby. Marty's picked up for something. On to the axe. Is he the first on to the axe? Yes, he is. Chris Paul, first on to the axe. And look at how, I tell you what, first one split easily. How's the second going to go? Nice. He's made a good decision to make nice thin rounds. It's paid off. He's comfortably ahead at the moment as Alex Field looks to get a saw going. He's going to pick up and take Chris Paul's. Next onto the axe, it's Tom Adkins from Oldingie. He'll be used to splitting firewood. Oh, I tell you what, he's made it hard. That is a thick. Oh, he's going I'm not going to say it's effortlessly, but he is splitting those. And look at his technique. For those of you who are watching on, what a nice little bit of time-saving energy and thought he's put into this. There's a man who's had to split a lot of wood in a hurry. Shit, be careful of your legs, mate. Sorry about that. For those of you on the live stream, I was just a little bit concerned that he was going to cut his own leg off. So sorry. All right. Oh, I turned around. I turned back. Chris Paul has reduced his log into pieces of kindling and he's moving on already to the second thing. A round of applause for the man from Waibop. Got to carry the 20-litre containers to make the FMG logo. Chris Paul, 27-year-old from Takawa. He knows all about this. His partner is Emin Danjan, who has been in a grand final before. She will have been schooling him up no end. Next to him, Johnny Brown. David Reesby's looking to go and get a Kumara by the look of it. He's made a safety infraction. Chris Paul out and about on his own. Tom Adkins, splitting his wood, but it's unorthodox splitting. He's shaving tiny pieces off it. I don't know that technically that's split, but hey, the judges can decide. He has whittled bark off the outside of it with his axe, and off he goes. He's going to move on to the FMG logo. Those containers are spread all the way down this field. I hadn't noticed that. A lot of distance to cover. I don't think they necessarily need to do it all at once, but they need to have the logo going. Chris and Tom are on to the irrigation module. Got to put that irrigator together. Still on the timber. Tim Danjan. He's seen that this wood can be split even though it's pretty light. Hey, nice choice of logs too today, people, whoever got these logs. They're all being split. I don't know whether they're looking for points for... I think they just need to cut them. You can see the physical toll it's taking. Johnny Brown getting that axe over his head, looking to split that last fat piece of timber. He's got it through. Let's see how they're going down the far end. The veteran Alex Field still on the chainsaw. Next to him, Chris Paul's moved down onto the irrigator. David Reesby still splitting his with the saw as well. He's yet to move on to the axe. Brown, last piece, drops the axe down on it. It splits open like an egg. He moves on. Mark Wallace from the East Coast has cut an enormous number of rounds. But I tell you what, this is where it's going to pay off. Look at these nice splits. The judges will probably be looking for the quality of this as well. It's all very well to whittle a bit off the edge. Moving on from the chainsaw, Tim and Tom. Moving on to that irrigator. Got to set up and connect the Hanson irripods. Connect to the water line. Tell you what, it's nice and quiet without those chainsaws going now. So there they go. Carrying those 20-litre containers. By the look of it, they can do that in any order they want. Must have it done. Or they can choose to sacrifice those points in order to gain a little bit more time. Still on the axe. Mark and David. That's the thing. Sometimes, I tell you what, they might have a little bit more strength when they get to some of the other tasks later on, but getting all of that wood split, judges are going to be looking to see, I'm sure, how well that wood has been split. On to the irrigators. It's been a long day. Work like this, normally you crack into it, but today it's been a hard day on the fingers. Fumbling fingers. They've got all little bits and pieces. They don't want to lose anything. Cracking along. Oh, someone's got a red flag on this. It's Alex Field. I'm surprised. But there you go. We can pick up even a safety infraction on putting these little irripods together. I suspect I know what it was. I won't tell you because it will alert some of the others. Field now spreading out. You'll see someone away soon from these irripods onto the diggers. So remembering, of course, the scenario, there's been a storm. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to recover from a storm. You can't wait for some fine weather. That's why they're cracking into it now. There he is. Look at him all. He's all arms and legs and smile. The big man, Tikakino. Where's he going? There he is. He's going there to get that 20-litre container. Back he goes. Oh, a lot of sinew and biceps. Mark Wallace coming now on to the irrigator. Spent 5 years as a veterinarian, currently working on the family sheep, beef and cropping farm in Waipukurau, great part of the world. Huge experience across a wealth of agriculture. Has any of it helped today? We'll find out. And we'll certainly find out tomorrow night, the Agri-Knowledge quiz as well. Tim Danjan, a picture of utter focus as he puts that irrigator together. The Northern region, home ground. Will the FMG Young Farmer of the Year be won by someone from the hosting region this year? No pressure, Tim Danjan. Tom Adkins, the young man. 3, I think, first-time regional competitors straight into a grand final this year, plus some other seasoned competitors as well. Will we see a newbie take it out? Looking to put that irripod together. Pieces going on. How's Chris Paul doing? Has he moved on yet? If you are supporting any of these excellent athletes, give them a nice shout out. It's getting a little cold out here for them. It's been a long day. There's Johnny Brown. Give them a bit of encouragement. Johnny Brown, great competitor. Is he off to Pia Kumara or is he off to get an FMG? He's off to Pia Kumara. No, he's not. Great. Oh, he's off. Is he onto the track? He's going to... Oh, great. He's doing something. Still splitting a little bit of wood, David Reesby, but I'll tell you what, points along the way. You don't just get points for finish. Well, you get points for finishing in your places, but you also get points for the quality of the work as well. And you can't be judged on what you haven't done. One of the great little insights that is given to the competitors in their briefing. And they do get quite comprehensive. We give them a lot of briefings and a lot of assistance in the months to competition, just to make sure that they don't have to think about too much when they're here. They all get the same shot. Mark Wallace getting things screwed together. Tim Danjan putting the top on that irripod. How close is he to being finished? Looks pretty close, I think. Next to him, Tom's putting his top on as well. Has anyone moved off to the digger? Chris Paul had a handy little lead to get onto this, but he's still there. The others have clawed back a little bit of time. Final bits of kit going on to that irripod. Where's Alex Field? He's down there. He's decided that he's going to shoot ahead. So sometimes we say you can go ahead and sometimes you can't. I think they must be able to go ahead. Grant, they can do anything in any order, can they? Them putting out the fire, they can do it in whatever order they want. They need to put the fire out in order to ride their two-wheeler across the line. So you can see the veteran Alex Field has decided he's going to go and take care of some of the fire with that fish fillet before he heads back and does some of the other stuff. He's a veteran of this grand final. Who got a whistle? It was Chris. Was it Chris Paul? No. It's Chris. What's it? Was it a safety in violation, or has he moved on? Might have been a safety thing. What's he doing? Going to the front of the ute, getting out of Kumara. Got to peel that Kumara as a safety infraction. How are we going down the far end? Has anyone? They've got to get these plumbed into that pipe. Get a bit of water squirting out of them. Tom Adkin, Tim Danjan.
Mark Wallace, neck and neck at this stage. It's going to make it interesting with Alex popping down to do his fish first and then coming back. Hard to figure out where he'll be sitting in the field.
Lots of fiddly bits. David Reesby, the 21-year-old from Taraman, the Martin Club. Look at that. Who was that? Was it Tom? The young fella. First away with a squirt in the sky. Nice work. Tell you what, Chris Paul had a handy lead into the Erie pod, and then it was young Tom. Young Tom got that going first. Next to him, Tim Dangen will be looking to get his going by. He's packing up. He's turning. There he is. Tim Dangen's away as well. And so is Chris Paul. So it is neck and neck competitors heading into the excavator challenge. They need to unstrop that little digger. They need to safely remove it from the trailer. They need to put the tyres over the cones. Put the digger back on again. Strop it back down again. Oh, and it's not easy, I tell you what, to get some of these strops off. And I don't know how many of them have driven little diggers like this, or whether some people looked at these diggers this morning and thought, I'd better get on YouTube, see if I can't figure out how to drive one. And a massive credit as well, always with the grand final, just a huge amount of time and effort that goes into bringing all of this kit into a middle of a field to allow these people to be the best that they can be. So, I can see irrigators going. Chris Paul has decided to leave his on because it's not wet enough in that part of the field. Alex Field on the fish. Johnny Brown. Mark Wallace still looking to get their irrigators going. Johnny Brown on the digger now. Look at that. He's easing it around. He looks like he's done this before. Is he going to be the first to get his off? Tim Dangen's getting on to his. Johnny Brown might take a handy little lead, actually. Gosh, they're silent, aren't they? They're real natural up there, Tim. Nice work. So, Tom just thwarted a little bit. One of the strops looks like it was done up pretty tight. So, just a little safety infraction. Tim picked up. Johnny Brown's going to be the first onto the ground, but followed very quickly by Chris Paul by the look of it. Judges have been briefed about what is the safest way to get these excavators off. Great work, bro. Judges are going to be making sure that they're going to come off nice and safe. So Johnny Brown is down. Chris Paul is down. And it's a speed race. Look at this. Look at the fleetness of the fleet. Who's going to be the first of the tyres? He's picked up the lead again. Chris Paul. Looking to get those tyres over that cone and then putting the excavator back up onto the trailer again. Chris Paul representing Takawa West. Dairy farmer. Connectera rep. It's his third regional final, so he's no stranger to it. Oh, he had that tyre and then he didn't have the tyre. I tell you what, you could have given them an easier bucket. How can we make this just a little bit more difficult than it needed to be? We'll give them that wide drain cleaning bucket rather than one of those petite little digging buckets. So there he is. Oh, I haven't seen a moment of such high tension. Will the tyre stay on the bucket as he inches slowly forward? Only time will tell. Tell you what, I'm on the edge of my metaphorical seat. Chris Paul, now he's got to lift it up. Is he going to get it? He goes up, he goes forward. He'll go up, and then he'll go sideways, up a little higher. I tell you what, a real finesse required on these machines to get those tyres on. Johnny Brown spinning round. Tim Dangen, he's getting to the first of the tyres. Getting that tyre picked up. Oh, he's done a beautiful job of it. Look at this, I think. I'm not going to say family rivalry, but Tim Dangen has just pipped Chris Paul to get the tyre on first. Great work. And then Chris has got that tyre on, but it's sitting on top of the cone. I was thinking, what could possibly go wrong? I hadn't predicted that. He's just gently trying to nudge that tyre off the top of the cone. Tim Danjan, meanwhile, look at Tim Danjan. Look at that. He's made it look effortless. Now he's going to put that excavator back up onto the trailer. Chris Paul, meanwhile, struggling to get that tyre off the top of the cone, losing some precious time to the brother-in-law. Johnny Brown. Don't know how much excavator work some of these people have done, but clearly some have done a little bit more than others. There it is. Chris Paul's got the first of those tyres down onto the ground. Nice work. And I'll tell you what, one of the big things about this competition is keeping their composure when things aren't going just as well as they had anticipated or wished. Tom looking to get his excavator down. He was one of the first onto them. Caught up a little bit there with getting those strops undone. Tim Danjan getting his back on again if the slippery ground will in fact allow it. It is a little slimy underfoot. Chris Paul, second of them being gingerly put up. He won't want to lose any more time dropping that down on top of the cone. Johnny Brown having a little struggle getting those tyres on. David Reesby looking to get his ramps down. Johnny Brown taking a little break, moving those containers up. He's thinking, where are the points for placings? Oh, someone got a red flag whistle down the end there. I'm not sure who that was. So, how are things going? There's Mark Wallace loping down, putting on his... No, he's getting another container. Tim Danjan, by the look of it, bit slippery to get that excavator back up onto the trailer. Making sure that it's nice and safe and secure. Chris Paul, I turn back down and he's still wrestling with that tyre. He had a handy lead. Is Alex Field putting out his fire? Has Alex Field just been quietly working away? Because if he puts the fire out, then does that not mean he's got to go and get his bike? Is the fire out? Is Alex Field in his kit? He is on the hose. Alex Field is on the hose. Alex Field is squirting his hose at what used to be a fire. Alex Field is continuing to squirt it into what still remains just a smouldering mess. Is he going to decide this is going to be the order that he's going to do things in? Is he going to skip a part of the competition? Is he going to go, what's he going to do? Let's watch. Let's watch Alex Field in the far lane. What is he going to decide to do? He's filleted his fish. He's put out the fire. He's got to take his PPP off. Is he going to go onto the digger at this point in time? Unorthodox strategy. What's he doing? Let's find out. He's allowed to. Oh, once he's done the fire, he's not allowed to go back onto the digger. I see. Well, there's plenty of points for finishing first. So we'll see what's going to happen down that end. How's Tom getting on? Oh, he's peeling something. That's what he's doing. I was thinking, where's he gone? He's peeling a kumara. He's at a stand down, Tom Adkins. The young man. There he is. He's back into it again. On to the digger he goes. As I say, if you're supporting any of these young people, or indeed all of them, every time they do something, give them a little shout out. It's a nice bit of encouragement. I'm sure Mark Wallace has filleted a few fish in his time. How's he doing? Where's Alex Field? He's out of his gear. I suspect he's going to have to run to his bike now. Nice filleting, actually. Great work. There's Alex Field. Where's he going? Down to the bike. And finalist. He skipped a few points with the excavator. He's got to get back down on there, onto that bike. He's got to find the key, ride down. This is great filleting as well. Tell you what, I haven't seen a fish look that surprised just about ever. Quite a surprised look on that fish's face, as if it's gone, well, I wasn't expecting this today. Beautiful fish. Don't know where they came from, but thanks to whoever brought those fish in. Tim Danjan. Hobsonville Point, he probably goes and throws a line in off the wharf from time to time. He'll be no stranger to filleting fish. Popping down to the beach in Mutawai, doing a bit of surf casting. He's done a fantastic job of filleting that fish. Oh, look, attention to detail as well. Tom looking to lift up the first of those tyres. Where's Alex? Has he made his way down on the bike? Oh, he has. Alex Field has finished. A round of applause for Alex Field. 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go. Tim Danjan, concentration on his face as he beautifully fillets that fish. Alex Field can relax. He's going to lie on the damp ground. He probably can't get any wetter than what he already was. Looks like he's got a little bit of a twinged back or something. He's giving himself a bit of relief. It has been grueling out here physically for the competitors today. Running back up again, Tim Danjan, carrying one of those 20-kilo containers. Tom looking to get the tyre on. Has he decided? Is he going to put the tyre on, or is he going to give it a move on to something else? Johnny Brown. Chris Paul pretty much got the tyres on. He's moving on to the last of those containers. I'm not going to say they're easy points to get in that particular thing because it's a lot of distance to travel carrying those containers to put the FMG logo together. But boy, every point is worth it. We have seen this competition decided, certainly at regionals. I've seen it decided by less than half a point at the end of the day. In fact, I have a feeling that one of those times was with Tim Danjan up here in the north a few years back. Very, very close. David Reesby on the digger, looking to get one of those tyres over the cone. Clock ticking down as well. They'll be looking up and down the course to see who's doing what. Alex Field is out of competition. He's finished. He's done. They can't worry about what he's up to. They can worry about what their peers are up to. So straight into the PPE. It's a race again between Tim Danjan and Tom. Although Tom hasn't done his fish. Is Tom going to do his fish? He is going to do his fish. Tim Danjan, no. He's into the PPE. That means that all he's got to do is put out that fire, run back, get his bike, find the key, ride down and toot toot. Who is going to take out second? And the points that come with it. A lot of decisions will be being made down the field. Chris Paul as well. He's got his fish to go. Was ahead at the start. Got held up a little with the irrigator. Did a pretty good job, actually, of the tyres. As you can see, if you can, another one of them hung up on top of the cone, but certainly between him and Tim, good points for the tyres. David Reesby looking to get his tyre on, wants to get a few points. Mark Wallace running back with those FMG barrels. He's done his fish as well. Tim's on to the squirt. Let's see how we go with that. He's getting a little bit of a briefing. Here we go. We're going to put the fire out and light a fire amongst his supporters as they say, look, there's a good chance that you'll take second out in this Agri-Sports event. A lot of pressure on those hoses, a lot of pressure on the contestants. Is the fire out? They're going to check. Always good to make sure the fire is actually out. I hear a red flag. Do I? No? No whistle? So, final moisture being applied to the fire. Tim Danjan, Northland. Then he's got to run all the way. He's got to take off his PPP. Oh, there is a red flag for Tom Adkins on his filleting. Go, boy. Look at him. He's so young and full of vim and vigour. Oh, to be young again. And I tell you what, you can't see how fast he is peeling that kumara, but it is fast. And there's Tim Danjan going down to get the key for the bike. Pretty safe to assume he's going to come in second. I tell you what, the feisty fury of Tom Adkins' head, I've never seen anyone peel so fast. He's throwing that peel off. Back down and go. Here's a kid who has been out here all day. Look at the speed of him. Oh, Tim is thinking, oh no, where's the key? And the answer is, I don't know. He's got to find the key. Onto the bike, he'll take out second by the look of it. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on down here. Grant. Hey, Grant. Grant. Tim Danjan. Let us wait for the toot. There it is, second place in the Agri-Sports event. Down the far end, not so far behind him, Chris Paul squirting his hose at the fire. But as I say, placings are important, but so too is how well they've completed things. Alex Field may have picked up first. Tim Danjan got second, but he also managed to get those tyres on. Down the far end, I can hear some applause as Chris Paul runs back down towards his bike. Look at the speed with which that young man is going. What's he after? Is it the PPE? Were they told? Got those fire overalls, just going to get those fire overalls off. He's going to be comfortably third. Even with that, still a few fires to put out. As Irrigator is squirting happily away up in the air. And I tell you what, come on, Chris. The Waikato Bay of Plenty originally yelling out to the side. You're almost there. You've just got to get out of your gear. Pretty good filleting as well, actually. He's out of the gear. He's not being challenged by too many people at the moment, although by the look of it. Who's that? Johnny Brown. Has Johnny Brown got his fire out? As soon as he gets that fire out, he's going to be into or out of his overalls. Where's Chris Paul? He's getting his helmet. He's got to find the key. Then the bike will come down. David Reesby looking to be someone who gets that digger back on. I think we're just too wet to get those diggers back on, but he's going to do it. Here's Chris Paul coming into third. Alex Field next to him, guiding him home. Great competitors. The Hooters, the Tooters tooted. Chris Paul takes out third. Alex Field first. Tim Danjan second. Chris Paul third. But like I say, some points have been sacrificed along the way. We're not getting those diggers back on. It's just a little bit too slippery today. How you doing? Mark Wallace looking to get the digger off the trailer. Score some valuable points for getting those tyres on. Only three people have got tyres on. David Reesby, Chris Paul, Tim Danjan. Will Mark Wallace be another one? Down the far end, Tom Adkins, the 21-year-old block manager in his first regional final, has squirted his fire out. He's going to be he's trying to get his hose turned off. It's hard to turn it off. Get it turned off. Turn off your hose. It's not turned off. He's basically washing all of the topsoil off Northland as we speak. Turn off your hose. That's on. Tell you what. Oh, he'll get it turned off eventually. How are we going? Down here comes Johnny Brown. There's Johnny Brown. Toot toot, Johnny Brown from Tasman, who almost committed a last-second safety infraction by running over the photographer, which would have been Johnny Brown very awkward. Because where are the points? Would we have taken points off because you'd hooted your horn and finished? I don't think so. Filleting the fish, David Reesby. How's his filleting going? I'm going to describe that. Mauling a fish with a knife, David Reesby. It's actually looking pretty good. It's a nice fillet, good technique. Good concentration. Tail is flicking as if to say, that's it, you've unfleshed me. Tidying up those fillets as well. These contestants know that there are points for placing with 5 minutes to go. Thanks, Stacey. Mark Wallace looks like he's having fun. Oh, I hear someone yelling down the far end. Is it Tom Adkins? Is he on his bike? No, he's in his gear. He's got to take the overalls off. Overalls off. Overalls off. You can do it down the far end. Don't care where they are. I tell you what, look at the quiet complacency of those contestants that have finished, just standing around, hand on hips, thinking, yep, I'm done. There's nothing they can do about what they haven't done. They had a great lesson with the 4 Fs. The first of them, when something goes wrong, Think it in your head, that one. Second one, fix it, forget it. And the fourth one, someone told me, but I forgot it. Focus on the next thing? I don't know. Eh? Oh, I knew what the first one was, but I've been in trouble before for saying what the first one is. What is it, Johnny Brown? It's fudge. Fix it, forget it. It's not a quiz. Focus. I thought it was. Oh, there's Mark Wallace. He's got one tyre on. He's going to get the second tyre on. He's got a quiet smile, a sense of calm self-satisfaction. A lot of mindfulness, I suspect, going on. The Tikakino former vet. Oh, delicately done. Oh, that is, beautiful. What a masterclass in the gentle putting on of tyres on a cone. Oh, as he swings his barrel around and wipes out a judge. He didn't. All right. Uh-oh. Safety infraction. Didn't put something down as the rain starts to come in. Who's left to go? Where's Tom? Is Tom finished yet? Not yet. Where's Tom? There he is. He's looking for his bike, looking for his key. There's his bike. Has he got the key? I don't know. By the look of it, he has. He's on the bike. Tom Adkins, the young man, 23 years old. Upper Waitaki Club, the Oldingie region. There he is, just gentle. Great and spectacular finish for Tom Adkins in his first grand final. Tell you what, if he wins it, it will be his only one. He's going to have a handshake with Tim Danjan and a hug. There's Mark Wallace. He's got pretty much everything completed by the look of it, so he's going to pick up a lot of points for all of that. He's got to put on the PPE, put out his fire and bring his bike down. What a great competitor. Down there, David Reesby looking to put his fire out. The Taraman representative. Is the fire out? Fire and emergency are checking. Hey, what a massive thanks to all of the people who turned up today. Look how many fire and emergency vehicles are here. Look what a great show they put on for the Agri kids. And for each of these head-to-head modules today. Really appreciate it. And the same with all of our module people. We know the huge amount of time and effort over the last several months, every regional and the grand final, to have your people here. We really do appreciate it. We don't get to have a great grand final with a great set of modules and challenges without having a huge amount of support from all of the people who put them together. Come on, David Reesby and Mark Wallace. Oh, who got a whistle? I suspect he got a whistle for trying to carry two of those containers at once. They're 20 kilos each. It's really all you're allowed to carry. How much time is left? 2 minutes to go. Will Mark Wallace get his fire out and his bike back down? There he is. He's giving it a good hoof. He's going to move a little bit closer to make sure it's out. David Reesby. Down he goes. He's getting in the last of the containers together. Time is against him. But he will get points for at least attempting every one of the challenges. Mark Wallace misting his fire. Needs it to be put out to the satisfaction of fire and emergency. They're having a look. Then he's got to scoot down. Come on, David Reesby. What a great competitor. There's Mark Wallace. And it's not easy to get in and out of this wet gear either. Hat coming off. Throw off his overalls. He'll be down to the bike. Time is going to be close. How are we doing? Very little time left. We'll let him leave his overalls on. It's not as if it's neck and neck for this. It's not as if there's any points in it. We want to see him finish. That's exactly right. He's going to be on the bike. And a reminder as well, we've had a great turnout from Fire and Emergency. Here comes Mark Wallace. Squinting into the rain. David Reesby as well. Everyone finished. They just got there. They got there. They got there. I made an official call. I don't have any powers, but they got there. Hey, and a massive thanks. A reminder as well, fire and emergency have been here because they weren't called out to anything today, thankfully. But just do make sure you've checked your smoke alarms. Check your smoke alarms. You've only got 3 minutes or so to get out of your house. Stacey, if it's on fire. I know it's not long. So the least you can do if you're staying at someone's house, staying with friends, make sure they've got a smoke alarm. Make sure they check those batteries. You're supposed to do it at daylight saving, but there's never a better time than right now. Or later today. Not right now. We're going to spend the next 7 days attempting to get diggers back onto trailers. Massive thanks. What a great practical day. What about a round of applause for everyone from the Northern region for a cracker of a practical day? I thought it was a ripper. And I have seen many. Our contestants, I was going to say they can relax. They've got their speeches tonight. They've got a bit of tree planting tomorrow morning with the Environmental Protection Authority here at Barge Park, I believe. And then the Agri-Knowledge Quiz tomorrow night and the FMG Young Farmer of the Year Grand Final for 2022. I have had a wonderful day. My water-resistant pants have stayed water-resistant. I was happy about that. Did get a little moist inside my rainwear this morning, but only because I put a jersey on. I had forgotten that the winterless north, whilst it does have some of the things associated with winter, not cold. And a big thanks to all of the supporters as well. Hey, look, we really appreciate that you have stayed out here in the weather and given these 7 excellent grand finalists all of the support that you could muster for them. We're really grateful for it. We will see many of you this evening either at the event with the naming of the Agri Kids winners, the FMG Junior Quiz and the naming of the winners and the speeches. If you can't make it along, it is being live streamed. And if you are in town in Whangarei, the Dickens Inn, there's a room there. If you think, oh, I wouldn't mind watching this, but I wouldn't mind having it with a beer or something to eat or one of those fancy RTD drinks, you can go along to the Dickens Inn, get a drink, settle in, watch the events. Thanks, everybody. Travel safely.